Welcome, my name's Metamon and today we've got the main event on the Sunday night, which is the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. Let's get right into the live scenes where the drivers are about to enter what will be a 10-minute qualifying session. So here is our event details tonight. The track we'll be racing at Silverstone National. It's the very short version of this track. We're going to be seeing lap times of around 53 seconds and a half. So a very quick time around this track. So what we've got up, 10-minute qualifying session. In-game time is 2 p.m. Then race, 49-lap race with a mandatory pit stop. That will be 3 p.m. in-game time. So here's the track we see ourselves at tonight, Silverstone National. I'm very sorry for the quality of this track. It's the only one I could actually find. But 7 corners, very short. And it's going to be crucial to keep up your mid-corner speed throughout these fast right left-handers, as it's going to be crucial in determining the final grid order tonight. So you're going to keep a high average speed up throughout the whole lap at Silverstone National. So here is our weather forecast tonight. For qualifying, we've got light cloud. So it will be reasonable to run the hard compound for qualifying, because there's a lot of heat that will be generated on the track from the sun. And for the race, all sync to the race as usual. So we go from medium cloud to overcast to heavy cloud, and then to finish off with light cloud. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the pitch strategies up on screen, but to determine what they sort of would be like, realistically, if you want to go with the hards, you can pit in with it whenever you want. But if you want to pit in for the softs, it's probably best to get on them very earlier on. As you can see, overcast is in the second weather slot there. So very crucial pit strategy will be tonight. There's 49 lap race, so there's a lot of times that will be going around this track. So let's have a look at the lineup tonight. For Selvia Q6 Racing, we have Westy Mike, we have Penguin, we have Turbo, we have Stimson. I haven't changed that bottom bit there, I don't think. I actually have to quickly change that. Then we have kart number 1. Round out the 5-car assault for Selvia Q6 Racing. So we're going to scroll through this here. So for Ignition Controls Racing, we have Stu and Ghost. 2-car assault for Ignition Controls. Those guys are looking to put up some good performances tonight. And then for Next Level Racing, leading the team's championship, we got Slambo, the championship leader. We got AK and we got Kart Dude. Those guys are really cracking up some good results for Next Level Racing, and that's why they see themselves on top of the championship standings. Now for Bruce Hale Racing, we have Benny, we have Nige, and we have Williams. Those guys, as of recently, have put in some quite fine results. So expect those to continue tonight. And thanks for the follow. Amazing. Very good to have you on board this stream, mate. And for Gamesman Racing Team, we have Stozza and AO. Those guys struggled a bit last week in the mix-up sprint race rounds. No doubt those guys will be looking to recover. And that rounds out the 5-team championship there. Pardon me. 5-team championship there. So the guys are about to get into the session. We're just waiting on a few. We shouldn't be that far off the 10-minute qualifying session. So, yep, they'll have to change it around a bit. Organise the laps, and that's pretty much it. And we'll get right into this. Actually, I didn't show you guys the standings. I had that on the extra slide, so we'll actually go through that while we wait. So I'll get that up on screen. So we go through to the next slide. We've got Slambo on 74 points. He's got quite a comfortable lead at the top over Stimson and Ghost, who both see themselves on 50 points. I'm pretty sure I've got Ghost in second on the slider down the bottom, because he's actually got a race win and Stimson hasn't yet. So I'm just going on count back there, so I've changed it around a little bit. I don't know if that's how the guys at RaceOnOz's are doing it, but I just put it like that, so I didn't have to change that extra thing. And then we got Kart Dude in P4. He's on 34. And Westy Mike with a good round last round. He's moved up into the top 5 all the way from P9, I think it was the week before. Sees himself on 30. We got Kart Dude on 29. JJ Penguin, disastrous round last round. Dropped a few positions. And he sees himself in P7 with 26 points. Stozza, very consistent round from him, getting 13 points. He sees himself on 24. Stu on 22. Williams on 19. Now, Benny, this is something that actually hasn't been added yet, but I'm pretty sure I've got an extra few points on the slider for him as well. So he's around the P8 in between P10 area on that because I've added those points manually. I'm pretty sure it's something that the guys got to look into. Then we've got AK on 16. We got Nige on 15. AO on 15. And then Turbo rounding out the 15. Carfield in 15th with 7 points there. So he'll be looking to get a big haul of points tonight if he's to get himself off the bottom. So we'll get right into this relatively soon. We'll get that off the screen. So I think I would have an invite almost. Sure do. So I've sort of delayed it a bit for those guys, so I apologise for that. There we go. Right, we're all ready. Should we ready to go now, guys? I hope you enjoy the 4th installment of the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. We're about to get into qualifying as we see Williams, the last driver, join the lobby. Now let's get right into business now. 49 laps, 10 minutes quali, and a very good weather forecast that is really going to shake everything up amongst the field as well. So we could see a different race winner tonight if there's a variation in strategies and a variation in pace. Now, I didn't put the predicted pole time up, but we're predicting a pole time of at least 53.3. That wasn't achieved in the practice session the guys set out before, but it was 2 tenths off. So it's a very fair call, I reckon. So we might see the pole position time around that range. And the pace setter in that practice session was Penguin for Selby Acoustics in the NSX. So he's looking quick. Hopefully he can transfer that over to the real thing. As I know he'll. So we'll get on trackside view. We're on board with Stimson. Currently equal P2 in the championship alongside Ghost. He'll be looking to get the advantage out of that one tonight with finishing higher than Ghost, obviously. But he would also want to at least finish on the top of the podium, you'd think. So he might be one to watch tonight as he tries to reduce that deficit of Stimson's lead at the top. Got to keep in mind, these guys are both running the Porsche. Stimson racing for Selby Acoustics and Slambo racing for Next Level. So those guys are also battling it out in the team's championship, heading in the round 4. So they're both 1 and 2 respectively. No doubt the Drivers' Championship and the Team's Championship is something these guys are really focusing on throughout this round. So as for Stimson, he'll want to try and maximise his points as well as Slambo. So those guys looking for big results tonight. And then you also have Penguin, who actually got the pole position in the practice session before. And he's looking extremely quick, so don't count him out of this one either, because he is extremely quick earlier on. We'll wait and see if he can actually transfer that into the race as we go on board with him now. So he looks like he's on a hot lap here. So out of the first sector, looks quite smooth at the hairpin as he heads onto the back straight. And you see a train of cars looking to get the slipstream here. I think you got AO in front of Penguin here for the Gainsman Racing Team NSX. So this is the most technical section of the track. A double hairpin pretty much. It's low speed. And it's relatively easy to screw up as well. So the guys got to be in the right mindset as they enter these last few corners. Because if they don't keep the right headspace, they will stuff up and invite someone up into a higher position than what they are. So Ghost is provisional pole. Now JJ Penguin, 54-2, plays a 54-4 between a couple of the top championship contenders. Now, I'm not sure if that's Kart Dude. That is Kart Dude. For Next Level Racing in P3, a 54-7 is quickest. Stimson in P4 with a 54-9. You've got Westy Mike round out the top 5 there with a 54-9 as well. So currently the top 5, separated by 7 tenths off the opening lap. JJ Penguin holds on the pole. Stimson goes slightly quicker, moves himself up into P2. A 54-3 is his quickest. Nige moving up into P3. Slambo going up to provisional pole now. 2 100ths quicker than JJ Penguin. So 54-2 plays a 54-2-2. This is really starting to heat up. We've got Nige in P4 for Bruce Hale Racing. 1.5 tenths off the lead of this one. 54-2-7-4 for him. Ghost has been relegated. Back to P5. Stimson in P6. We got Williams in P7. We got Kart number 1 in P8. Now I think that's Kart Dude who goes provisional pole now with a 54 flat. We got a car off there. That's one of the ignition controls cars of either Stu or Ghost. And that is the car of Ghost there as his teammate. No, correction. That is Stozzo going past in the Gamesman Racing team Porsche there. And now Kart number 1 goes quickest with a 53-7. So first in the 53s, but he's quickly pipped by Slambo. So that was actually his time. 53-9 plays a 53-7. Slambo with the advantage here midway through the qualifying session. Westy Mike up in the P3, a 53-9 for him. And then we've got Kart Dude in P4. He's currently parked up in pit lane. Penguin records the fastest time now of a 53-6. So they're starting to get faster and faster as the track starts to grip up. So here we go. We're on board with Slambo. He looks to have sustained a little bit of damage on the front spoiler there. And you can see the amount of struggle town that he's going through there as he has to return at the pit lane. Now we're on board with Kart number 1. Currently P3. Really setting quick laps tonight so far. What's this going to be across the line for him? It's not going to be quicker. 1.8 seconds off his pace. We go down the list here. AO. He's only a second off the pole position time. So first to 15th, all separated by less than a second here. This is very close stuff from this very competitive field at Race on Oz. This is the Pagnian GT3 series here. It's round 4 at Silverstone National. And what's this going to be for AO? He moves up in the P8 with a 54-1. He's pretty much went up pretty much half the field there. Now AK is on the bottom here. What does he go in response to that? He's got his teammate Slambo in behind him. So these guys may be looking to work together here. The Bentley has the top end speed advantage over the Porsche. So I reckon maybe a bit of strategic play between these two as he try to help each other out here. So AK slightly down on his quickest time. Really struggling in the rear end of that Next Level Racing Bentley here. But this is going to be across the line. I don't think he's lost too much time. He really threw that car around. And it is going to go quicker. He moves up in the P13. What's Stozzo got in response to this with Gamesman Racing team? Going across the line now. He doesn't improve. Stu for Ignition Controls. Currently sitting P14. 7 tenths off pole position of JJ Penguin. So JJ Penguin's time is still holding on. A 53.68 remains to be the time to beat. And Stu goes up in the P7 with a 53.9. So the top 7 drivers all in the 53s, and then the drivers beyond that all in the 54s. So it is very close here in round 4. We're going to have a really big shake-up in the results tonight, I reckon. There's a lot of good qualifying performances throughout some of these guys in the field. AO's up in the P4. So he's really putting the power down here for Gamesman Racing team. So we'll actually stay on board until he gets past control on here. See if he can improve. He needs at least 1 tenth to get 1 spot up. Unfortunately, not enough. 8 tenths slower than his quickest. We've got Kart number 1 parked up. Now we're on board with Wesky Mike. So he's currently sitting P6. He's only been relegated 1 spot here. He's driving for Kiilstofte. So He's got to really help out with a big haul of points in terms of Teams Championship tonight. Westy Mike, to keep in mind the top 2 drivers count towards the Teams Championship total. So currently I think he is added to that list because he's currently sitting P5. So across the control line he goes. He doesn't go quicker, so not quick enough. So Kart Dude's stuck all the way back in P8. Might actually go on board with Benny for Bruce Hale Racing here. He's currently 2 tenths down on his quickest. What has he got in response in the closing 2 minutes of this 10-minute qualifying session? He's really got to put the foot to the throttle now if he's to gain at least a couple positions to move up into the top 10. So the whole field is separated by 7 tenths. This is something that is very rarely seen in the sim racing world, even the actual realistic racing world. So this is something that's really going to heat things up tonight. Everyone's pretty much on par with each other in this one. As Benny crosses the control line in a few moments, what's this going to be for him? He's got Westy Mike stuck in behind him, not quick enough to improve. What's that for Westy Mike? Still no improvement there. Now, Slambo goes provisional pole with a 53.664, pipping Penguin by 1.5 100ths. It is game on between the 2 top teams and 2 top championship contenders here at Silverstone National. Stimson is up into the top 3. Ao is mixing it up with the top guys tonight. He's currently sitting 4th. Kart Dude well and truly up there as well in the top 5. Westy Mike tracking well in P6. We've got Stu for ignition controls. Very good time from him. But he's currently parked up in pit lane there, and we won't see any more of him in this session. So Kart Dude currently P8. Williams got a lot of damage to the front splitter there. He's sitting P9. His teammate Nige 1 position back in P10. We got AK in P11, Benny in P12, Turbo in P13, Ghost, one of our championship contenders, in P14. Slambo going slightly quicker as well. So he's further extended that to an extra 2 1,000, so almost 2 100ths in it between the top 2. AO goes up in the 3rd position now. So that is a very good lap from him. And he went wide heading into turn 1. I think he's done and dusted as he parks it back up. What has Stimson got in response? I think he's done and dusted too. P4 is as good as he can get so far. Now Penguin is on a hot lap here. What's this going to be on exit of the mid-sector? He's currently up 8 100ths. What's happened here? So a little bit of latency issue there, but he's currently up out of the mid-sector. Can he hold on to it? And I think he's actually generally went wide out of the last corner there as he goes across the line now. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. No, it's not. So his Kart Dude on lap he is. He's about to cross control line now. What's this going to be for him? So here's the last car to cross the control line. And he did not improve. So there is your starting lineup right there. So we're about to get into the 49 lap race here for the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. And Ghost, one of our championship contenders, well and truly down the pack in P14. Got a lot of catching up to do, he does. But as for the other 2 contenders in the top 3, Slambo and Stimson see themselves both in the top 5. So Stimson really needs to get ahead of the pack in the opening stint tonight. So he's really got to be on the attack. We've got a few of the other guys. Penguin, we've got AO, we've got Kart number 1, Westy Mike, Stu, Kart Dude, Williams and Nige. They really got to attack as well. They've got to try and maintain position inside the top 10 because they got the guys of the likes of AK, Benny, Turbo, Ghost and Stozza right behind them. So there's going to be a lot of mix-up results tonight, I predict. But we'll wait and see what happens as the championship leader takes pole here for round 4 of the Pagnian GT3 series here at RaceOnOz's. So we're about to get into this one. We'll go run through the grid. So championship leader, once again, sees himself on pole position. That is the next level Porsche of Slambo. So he's looking for a good result and looking to further extend that championship lead in P1. And joining alongside him in the first row, it's JJ Penguin, trying to recover from a disastrous third round. A very good qualifying performance from him for Kiilstofte. Then we have AO for Gamesman Racing Team, looking to get a good result tonight for them. Currently sitting P3, good qualifying performance there. Stimson for Kiilstofte, P4. Equal P2 in the championship, and he's looking to move forward tonight. That's for sure. And then we got kart number 1, also for Kiilstofte in P5, as well as Westy Mike. Then we got Stu, first of the ignition control cars in P7. He's looking to move a few positions forward as well. Then we got Kart Dude for Next Level Racing. He's one of the Next Level Racing guys that are really trying to get a big haul of points to maintain that team's championship lead. And the first of the Bruce Hale Racing guys, Williams in P9, and his teammate Nige P10, AK P11, Benny in P12, Turbo P13, Ghost P14, Stozza P15. So we'll get to the front of the grid where it's going to be Slambo leading Penguin heading into turn 1. So a very good even start from the front two, but I reckon Penguin's actually got a little bit bogged down because AO is up in the P2 now. We might actually have to stay on board with AO because he's right behind the rear bumper of the championship leader, Slambo, as we get out cleanly through the first corner. So heading into the mid-sector now, and AO going a bit too deep on the brakes. Heading into the first hairpin. You can see there's an overlap from Penguin on the outside of AO. So they're going to go side by side down the back straight. Now you got Stimson trying to play himself into this as well. Slotting in right behind Penguin on the outside. He's trying to take a look down the inside. But I reckon Penguin's going to have the traction on the outside lane there. And now he's just stuck it right in behind AO to ensure that he's safe for the rest of this lap. That's AO going out wide, just a little bit out of the last corner. And he's really under pressure now from the Kiilstofte car of Penguin. We're heading into turn 1 for lap 2. So it was a very quick lap there. 59-second lap from Slambo. That's from a standing start. And then the rest of the guys ranging from a minute to a minute 9. And we see Benny, the first of the guys to tour pit lane. So a very early pit stop for him. I reckon it's a huge strategy play there. And it's going to be very crucial not to go a lap down here, because you want to maintain track position here. So it's Slambo with a 1.4 second lead over AO. And AO's getting a massive dive down the inside from Penguin. He's stuck on the outside now. AO has to pretty much come to a full stop there as they go side by side. Heading out the last corner. Still side by side. A lot of side by side contact there. And I reckon AO is going to prevail the battle for P2. He's still got the inside lane heading into turn 1, and there's more contact. And Penguin's been pushed out wide there by AO. Very unfortunate scenes there for those two. Stimson up in the P2 now. I reckon AO's readdressed that there, as he's lost a heap of positions there. He's all the way back in P6 now after that contact with Penguin. So it's a very good move to readdress that, but unfortunately they're all lost out there. So Penguin's actually moved back. We stayed in the P3, but the biggest loser out of that was AO. So now Penguin is on the attack on the rear bumper of Stimson. So this is going to be all or nothing from these guys, and it's Slambo just blazing away in P1. A 3-second lead over his closest competitors in Stimson and Penguin. And then you got Kart Dude playing himself into the mix as well. Then you got Westy Mike in P5. And then Williams for Bruce Hale Racing in P6. He's made a lot of ground in the early stages. AO and Ghost, he's actually made 6 positions here on the opening few laps. So he's moved all the way up in the P8. His teammate's been relegated back to P13, and Stu for ignition control. So something's happened to him. Nige up in the P9 as we almost go 3 wide there. So Nige is right on the rear bumper of the Gamesman Racing Team NSX of AO. Is he going to take a look down the inside? AO's taking a look on the inside of Ghost, because Ghost for the moment had got that position up in the P7. But AO has got that straight back. So very good racing by both those guys. And now Nige is right on the rear bumper of Ghost out of the last few sections of this track. And that's AO drifting off into pit lane there. Now Williams is right on the rear bumper of Westy Mike. This is the battle for P5. You see the cars from P2 to P6 in screen. And you got Ghost a little further back. Williams might be able to make a move relatively soon if he can stay in the draft of Westy Mike as we head into the mid-sector. Is he going to make a dive? He almost gives a little bit of a love tap to Westy Mike just to let him know he's there. Now right in the slipstream now, down the back straight, he might be able to take a look into the most technical third sector of the track. And he's got it down the inside and overlap. Does he get the traction on entry and exit? He does, but he's going to have to defend for his life heading into the last few corners as he sets the rear out wide there, Williams. But that was a very good move to hold on. So Westy Mike has lost out here. He's been relegated back to P6. And Nigel's up in the P7. Ghost is still in P8. And there's a decent gap between those two. So a little bit of clean air. We'll see them actually record pretty decent, consistent laps now. So back to the front where Slambo has a 3.2 second lead over his closest contender in Stimson. These guys really trying to catch up to the rear bumper of Slambo. But he's just blazing away. Got lap traffic up ahead in kart number 1, but he's coming for his mandatory pit stop. Ghost has also drifted off in the pit lane now, so I reckon he's a bit tired of being stuck in traffic, and I reckon that is a very good move there from him. So we might see him sort of get like an undercut on the guys in front in terms of letting them battle it out with one another in this early stage. You'll let everything play out in front of him, and then he'll start to record fastest lap after fastest lap, which should put him up around into the top 5 if he's fast enough in that time. So we'll wait and see the progress of his race towards the end into the next stint of most of the other guys. So currently we're on board with JJ Penguin. He's actually in the battle for P2 with Stimson. So as we head onto the back straight now for the 7th time, you see Kart Dude also in the mix here. And then you got Benny in the back as well. No, that's Williams' correction. So that is the Bruce Hale racing car of Williams. So we have a little bit of latency. Lap 8, you can see Kart Dude losing a bit of ground in P4 there. Currently under pressure from Williams in behind. So it's next level racing versus Bruce Hale racing. And then you got the Selby Acoustics car of Westy Mike in P6. So this battle for P4 is starting to heat up between these guys. And then you got the guys in the background of Nigel and Stozza also on the mix as well. And now let's see how AK is tracking, because he's 4 seconds off Stozza in P9. So he seems to be struggling a bit in the Bentley there. He's got Stu for company in behind him. So that's going to be a battle to watch in the later stages as well. We've got Turbo in the background there. He's got a decent gap in front of him and behind him. Next car is AO, but he seems to be almost a lap down. We've got Ghost and Benny there. So those guys all made their mandatory pit stops. And I'm pretty sure kart number 1 is also in that mix, but he is the first driver to almost be a lap down here. As you can see, Slambo right on the rear bumper with his lights on now. So Kart Dude has got a lot of company coming towards him. So he's got to remain on the lead lap. He's got to be fast in this whole stint pretty much. He's got to keep the right mindset when under pressure from the championship leader. So in terms of the lead of this race, it's 2.5 seconds in favour of Slambo. So Stimson has chipped into that lead, but he's not right on the rear bumper just yet, because he's sort of got away from JJ Penguin as well. You can see that gap start to extend as we enter lap 10 here at Silverstone National. So Penguin's just trying to get into a groove, as well as Stimson and Slambo. So these top 3 just trying to get into a groove of their own to maintain momentum and be there towards the end of the race to actually challenge for the race win. So I reckon very good moves from these guys, very good decisions. I reckon strategy will come into play with these 3, no doubt as well, as we're starting to see the strategy start to play out between the likes of AO, Ghost and Benny. Those guys all making their mandatory pit stops. So might actually go through the list here. And Williams is trying to make a move down the inside of Kart Dude, but he doesn't have the traction on corner exit. Now they're side by side, heading into the last two corners here. He's stuck on the outside line, Williams. What can he do? He's not able to get the traction on exit either, so he has to remain in behind. That Stimson drifted off in the pit lane. So he's come in for his mandatory pit stop, and that's only lap 11 of 49. So he's still got 3/4 of a race to go. So that means Kart Dude and Williams move up, and Westy Mike, Nye, Stozer, AK, Stu. I reckon Turbo will also get up into the top 10 after Stimson's come in the pit lane. So these two are teammates, Stimson and Turbo. So I don't reckon it will be hardly fought between these two if Stimson catches up to the rear bumper there. AO might be able to get past as well. He's the first of the pit stoppers. As Stimson comes out of pit lane now, and AO's got it. He's got the move done. And I think Ghost is in the mix here as well. So this is the true battle for the guys that have pitted in. And you can see Benny in the mix as well. So Ghost has really gained ground, but AO, really the usurper in this so far. He's got the track position here out of the guys that have made the pit stop. You can see Stimson and Ghost in the background there. And then further back is the Bruce Hale car of Benny. So these guys really got a lot of work to do. No doubt they're going to be battling each other for the rest of the race. As we see Williams come into the pits, as well as Westy Mike and Turbo finally drifting off in the pit lane as well. So you can see the strategy really start to play out in the early stages here. So we're currently on board with Turbo, but he's not out on track. So we'll actually get on board with Stu. He's starting to chase down the next level racing car of AK in the Bentley. And he's right on the rear bumper. These two have not made their mandatory pit stop yet either. So these guys are battling it out for position. Let's see what happens here between these two. I think Stu's drifted off a bit. We might actually see he's coming in the pit lane. Yes, he is. So currently it's Slambo with a 3.4 second lead over JJ Penguin in P2. And I think Slambo got a little bit bogged down out of the hairpin there. He's lost a little bit of ground, the Penguin, but starting to extend back out once again. You can see a cone go off in the background there. And that's Nige under pressure from, is that Stozer? Yes, it is. So we've got a lap car there of Turbo, and Stozer is in the mix here. He's currently sitting P5. He's almost lost the rear end, but he's held on to it. Very good car control from him. I thought he completely lost it through the mid-corner, and he held on to it, and he looks to really be struggling with that front splitter as well. I reckon there's a little bit of damage on the front right, maybe. Unless that's just how it's meant to be. To me, it looks a little bit out of place. But he's tracking well in P5. 10 seconds off the lead, so he's not too far behind the leader of Slambo. So currently, all these guys are in the mix for a podium here. It's going to be a huge battle towards the end of this one, no doubt. We're currently on lap 14 of 49. We're on board with Penguin now. He's got a lot of gap in front of him and behind him. We might actually go further up on board with the leader, Slambo. We'll go on board Cockpit View. Let's suss out a lap here. I'll be quiet for the next lap as you spectate Slambo around this circuit of Silverstone National. On board with is Slambo, and he hasn't chosen the pit in yet. So he's currently on lap 16. Closest contender, JJ Penguin. He's further falling away a little bit. He's almost 4 seconds down now since the last time we checked. Can't do track and whirl in P3. So we got Next Level Racing, Selbia Q6, and we got Next Level Racing once again in Kart Dude. And the first of the Brutal Racing cars in Nige. He's really putting quite a performance up tonight. Stozza rounding out the top 5 for Gainsman Racing Team. Went a little bit wide on the hairpin there, but he seemed to have recovered fairly quickly. You see AK in the background. Stimson, the first of the pit stoppers now. So he's actually got past Ghost and AO. And Ghost has actually got past AO, as you can see in the background there. So those gaps are really starting to extend now, as these guys are starting to get into a rhythm. And trying to get into a rhythm until the end of the race. So it's what they got to do, especially for Stimson. He's in this clean air. He's really got to use it if he's to catch up to Slambo. So realistically, he is racing Slambo for P1. So his last lap was a 54.3. Last lap for Slambo was a 54.7. So you can see, last time around, he's 4 tenths quicker. But actually, that's his last lap there, Slambo. So what's the last lap for Stimson? It's going to be a 54.7 as well. So he's lost out a little bit that time around, but he's still relatively quick. He's still looking to get in front of Slambo for the lead of this race. Currently, Penguin has actually chipped into that deficit there. It's now 2.4 seconds. So Slambo has made a huge mistake on the last lap. A 57.4 was his last lap. He's 2 seconds off the pace last time around. So he's really made a mistake somewhere. Just very curious to see where he's actually made the mistake. I reckon it would have been one of the slow corners. He looks to really be struggling with the rear stability out the hairpin there. He holds on to it, but he looks to be really struggling. And Penguin is right on the rear bumper, down the back straight now, almost in the slipstream, no doubt. And Kart Dude a little further back as well, and he's got Nige for company in behind. Then Stozza with his lights on, trying to chase down Nige in P4. See AK in the background there. And then Stimson's about 12 seconds down the road. So I don't actually think we'll see him in the background. So Stimson's coming out of the hairpin now. So there we go. And then Ghost should be in behind, but he's got a lot of damage on the front bonnet there. So he's going to be trying to limp that Ignitions Controls Racing Bentley home, no doubt. So he's got pretty much over half the race to go here. We've got AO in P9, currently under pressure by Benny for Bruce Hale Racing. So these guys are really going to be battling it out. A little bit of a latency, I reckon. So really struggling tonight. So I deeply apologise for that. But it's Lambo who leads by 1 second. So he's really made a mistake somewhere, but he's drifting off in the pit lane now. Does Penguin follow? No, he doesn't. So he chooses to go around. I reckon we might see him respond in the next lap or so. How about Kart Dude? He's also followed JJ Penguin's footsteps. Nige also. How about... So Stozza, yep, he's going to get out as well. Now AK, he's coming out of the last couple corners now. And he's also going to follow around. So Stimson, he's in the battle between himself and Slambo. Now where does Slambo come out on track? You can't really see him. I reckon he's coming out of pit lane now as the camera starts to change. Now you can see Stimson in the background there. So it is really going to be wheel to wheel as we exit pit lane. And Stimson is going to have a huge lead over Slambo. It's going to be almost 5 seconds here between these two. And also Ghost gets far past. So his two championship protagonists in Ghost and Stimson have got past Slambo. So those two are really looking forward to closing the gap of the championship lead that Slambo has. So the current gap between them, it's 8 seconds between Stimson and Slambo. And it's 3 seconds between Ghost and Slambo. So there are your gaps between the top contenders here. So So Stimson's got a little bit of a cushion here because he's got Ghost in between him. And no doubt Ghost is going to make Slambo's life like a living hell. So he'd really want to hold on to that position, no doubt. You might be able to see Ghost in the background. No, we don't. So this is going to be a champions battle, this one. Top 3 in the championship. They're going to be there or thereabouts towards the end of this one. And currently, it's in the favour of Stimson. He's currently sitting P6. Penguin will also be in the mix, but he still hasn't pitted in. So we're not sure where he'll come out in comparison to these guys yet. But his Penguin's last lap was a 54.9, a 54.8 for Stimson, a 55.8 for Ghost. You can't really give an indication on Slambo's because that was an out lap of a 106.5. We've got AO with a 55.7, 55.9 for Benny. So I reckon Stimson, Ghost and Slambo might get past Penguin for the lead here. So I reckon once all the pit stops have concluded, Stimson will be in the lead of this one. And currently he's still holding a very stagnant lead of 8 seconds over Slambo. But currently it's Ghost under pressure from Slambo behind. You can see them bumper to bumper now. 2 championship contenders in the Pagnian GT3 series here at RaceOnOz's. As we go into the first hairpin for the 22nd time. Head on to the back straight now. Slambo trying to get an overlap at some point on this lap, no doubt. He's really going to be on the attack if he's to catch up to Stimson. That will be the battle for P1. Slambo's trying to take a look down the inside, but he's too far back to even think about it. Now they go side by side almost, heading into the last couple of sections of the track. Now trying to get the power down is Slambo and getting a very good exit as he tries to get an overlap on the inside of the last corner. But Ghost cuts it off. I reckon Ghost might be running defensive into the first corner here. No, he's not. He takes the traditional racing line. But bumper to bumper now. Almost a love kiss there from Slambo on Ghost. So these guys side by side now. Hopefully there's no contact. And Ghost, is he going to prevail? He goes sideways through the hairpin. And he's pushed out Slambo on the outside. But that was a very good defensive manoeuvre there from Ghost. I don't think Slambo will be too happy about it though. But Ghost, for the moment, he's still got the advantage over Slambo. And Slambo takes a massive dive down the inside. But he's not able to get in the braking zone deep enough. So he's going to have to rethink where he's going to be able to overtake Ghost here. As he tries to pressure him around every corner around this circuit of Silverstone National. The Ghost is really under pressure now. And he's really keeping a cool head, no doubt. This is quality driving from both these guys. Stimson just blazing ahead now. That gap between Stimson and Slambo is 10 seconds. So Stimson will really be hoping that this battle goes on for at least another 10 laps. As Ghost is really under pressure still. Bumper to bumper between him and Slambo. I know there's other cars on track, but currently this is what the podium is going to currently look like. And Slambo taking another dive down the inside. Penguin's still out on track, so still yet to make that mandatory pit stop. Ghost seems to have very good braking ability through this last section. And as a result, that's why we still see him in front of a charging Slambo for Next Level Racing. And we've got Ignition Controls Racing. I'm pretty sure they're P3 in the team's championship as well. So going down the inside is Slambo. Is he going to get it pulled off? Ghost goes out wide and loses the rear end, but he's held on for another attack from Slambo there. I don't know how much longer Ghost can hold on here. Really under siege, and he's doing a very good job to keep his car in front. We got AO and Westy Mike battling out in the background as Slambo tries to do it on the outside. But it's Ghost who's got it all sideways, drifting style. And he has to give position there to Slambo. But that was very good car control to keep the car on the grey stuff. But he's lost out there, unfortunately. So now Slambo has the advantage over Ghost. We're on board with Westy Mike. Got a gap between himself and Benny. So he's looking to catch up to the rear bumper of Ghost, who is struggling in the Bentley. So Benny is under pressure from Stu. Stu's got his lights on, so that means Stu is really wanting to make an overtake relatively soon on Benny. So I reckon Stu will want to be helping out his teammate, no doubt. He's wanting to get into the mix here. Let's see what he can do on the next lap or so. You see them bumper to bumper now. As Benny goes out wide and he takes a tour on the grass on the exit there. Now, Stu really has the opportunity to send it down the inside. He's taken a look, but I don't think he's going to get him in the braking zone because Benny takes traditional racing line around, meaning the fastest line around. So he's able to hold on. So Stu, unfortunately, not able to make the move, but he's still on the rear bumper as we enter the final couple of corners at Silverstone National here. We're about to enter lap 27 for these guys. Cross the control line now. Stu going to take a look down the inside. A little bit too far back, you'd think. So we might actually go on board with Stu cockpit view to see how close he actually is to Benny. And you can see it's almost covering up the whole windscreen here, Benny. Stu looking to get very good traction on exit, but I reckon Benny has done a very good job there. He's found the grippy part of the track. And he's really launched himself onto the back straight, so Stu's going to have to wait for his opportunity to come as he tries to trail brake throughout the whole section here in the third sector, and it's really paying off because Benny's gone out wide. Now they're side by side. We have to go back to trackside view now. Benny's got the correction, Stu's got the inside line, but he's lost a little bit of traction through the mid corner there. They're still side by side, but I reckon Stu is going to have to hold back. He slots in right back behind the Bruce Hale Racing Porsche of Benny there. So unfortunately not able to capitalise on that mistake made by Benny. So now it's officially Kart Dude, who's the last driver to actually pit in. So I think AK as well. So those two still have to pit in. Kart Dude got a 20-second advantage over Stimson. And Penguin comes out on track in P4. So he's currently provisionally P2. But he's in a battle with the championship leader, Slambo. You can see him in the background now with his lights on for next level racing. So Penguin, no doubt, is going to be feeling the pressure in the next couple of laps. We're in the final 20 laps of this race. We're just a little bit over halfway here at Silverstone National for round 4 of the Pagnian GT3 series. You see Penguin really throwing it around in the hairpin there. And Slambo really trying to stay in the slipstream as they go down the back straight. Now you got AK further up who hasn't pitted in yet. So Kart Dude has actually drifted off in the pit lane. So where does he come out in comparison to the top 5 contenders? So they're coming out the last couple of corners now. So I reckon Stimson's going to get past him relatively easy. I might actually go on board chase view with... So yeah, Kart Dude's currently exiting pit lane now. It's going to be very close between him and Penguin. You can see the next level racing car of AK get past. And that's Penguin off to the left-hand side now. So Kart Dude is battling it out between the championship leader and Penguin in front. So this is a freeway battle for P2 provisionally. You can see Kart Dude really trying to gain ground under brakes. He's really trying to get back up the speed after making that pit stop very late. So he's going to have to get up to grips very fast. We'll try and get back into the groove. And now this realistically is not a battle that's actually been fought on track here. So AK will be drifting off relatively soon. And I reckon he might be doing it now. Yep, he's drifting off now. A very good move from him to get out this battle here. So he wouldn't be wanting to be held up battling it out with these guys. So a very good move to drift off in the pit lane for AK. So currently Penguin has got a slight advantage over Slambo. It's the battle for P2. A huge lead for Stimson. 7 seconds is that lead over JJ Penguin. So Stimson looking to capitalise off a very good strategy play from him. So we're currently on the back straight now. 31st lap here. Slambo, championship leader, in the mix here to get on the second spot of the podium. We're not looking likely for another race win for the championship leader, because he's 7.7 seconds down from Stimson, who's his lead championship contender there. His next contender in Ghost is stuck all the way back in P5 behind Kart Dude there. So Kart Dude really cracking up some fine laps, and he's only coming to the pits recently, so he's back out on track and looking to make up that lost ground. He's 4 seconds behind his teammate in Slambo for Next Level Racing. So these two, they're no doubt going to be working together. So Kart Dude trying to hold off Ghost and Westy Mike, playing a little bit of a rear gunner role for Slambo. But I reckon Kart Dude would also want to play himself into the mix as well. So I reckon there won't be team orders, but I don't think they'll be battling it out really hard against one another, because they wouldn't want to lose a big haul of points for their respective team, because they're currently leading the team's championship here over Silverstone Acoustics. And then you got Ignition Controls in P3. Then we've got Bruce Hale Racing in P4, and then Gamesman Racing Team round out the 5-team championship standings there. So it's very close at the top between the top 3 teams. So we got 3 different contenders from 3 different teams. We've got driver Slambo for Next Level Racing in P1 in the drivers. P2 for Stimson, currently leading this race for Selby Acoustics. And then Ghost currently P5 for Ignition Controls, currently P3. So those guys are your top 3 championship contenders. And I reckon Kart Dude is starting to play himself into that championship protagonist title as well, because I think he's either P4 or P5. I'm pretty sure he's P4, and he's looking to accumulate a lot of points tonight and really cement himself as a championship contender here. The Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. So we might actually go on board with Penguin. He's still holding off Slambo. And Penguin, after the last round, very disastrous from his point of view, no doubt. He's looking to get a good haul of points here. He's currently up on his quickest lap as well. So it's a good sign here, being on the defence on Slambo. So Slambo really catching up now. I might actually go on board with Slambo to see his sector split out of the mid-sector here. So let's see how he's tracking. So he's currently up on his quickest as well. So I reckon he's really getting the benefit of the tow from Penguin, the car in front. Got to keep in mind that the NSX has a slight top-end speed advantage over the Porsche, but it's by like 2 kilometers an hour. But if the Porsche can get in the slipstream of that, they can punch themselves right past them. And as for the Porsche, they're very good under brakes, and they're also very good at cornering. So there's a lot of strengths and weaknesses depending on what car you've chosen. And unfortunately, we don't have Ferrari in the Div 1 series here at RaceOnOz's, but there is guys in other divisions in the Ferrari. So this is basically a free manufacturer championship here with the NSX Acura, the Porsche, and the Bentley in Div 1 here. And no doubt they have very different braking zones as well. The Bentley in the braking zone sort of acts like a dog. You don't really want to attack the rear brake too much in the Bentley, because that will really bite you on the bum if you do that. So currently slightly down on his quickest race lap, Penguin. I reckon Slambo would have followed the same sort of time there. And he's actually lost a little bit of ground in comparison to Penguin on the last lap, because he was a lot closer last time around, no doubt. And he's currently almost 2 tenths down on his quickest race lap. We're on lap 36 of 49. So currently we've got a lap car there of, I think that is one of the Gamesman Racing guys. And I think that's Stozza. Yeah, Stozza in P13. So unfortunately we've had a couple of retirements here as well. I think Turbo is one of those guys, trying to gauge on who's actually the other guy here that has retired. Might actually scroll through the list here if we could actually get an indication. No, we can't. We'll have to wait till the end. So I reckon that is the car of... No, it's not the car of Williams. Yeah, we'll look towards the end of the race here. But currently, we'll actually go back on board with Penguin. He holds a 1 second advantage over the championship leader, Slambo. So he's really keeping a cool head here. You can see the lap car of Stozer as well. And he's really applying the pressure to these guys that are a lap ahead as well. So basically a three-way battle just with a car that's a lap down. It's going to be a very hard task for Penguin to be able to hold off a charging Slambo. But they've also chipped into the lead of Stimson. That gap has been minimised to 4.8 seconds. So I reckon Stimson, he's made a mistake on the laps between now and his pit stop. But currently he's up on his quickest lap here. So we might actually go on board cockpit view. And he's got lap traffic up ahead as well. So you have a little bit of a draft advantage on this lap, I reckon. So he's slightly down on his best lap delta there. No, not so much evidence of entry understeer there for the last couple of sections of the track. So Stimson's tyres looking to be really holding on throughout the later stages of this one. So we currently have 10 laps to go. We're on lap 39 of 49. So Stimson still holds the lead here by 4.7 seconds over Penguin. And then it's Slambo on P3 a further 1.4 seconds back. Cart Dude further 6 seconds back from his teammate Slambo, but he was definitely in the mix if any of the guys in front actually make a mistake. So he could be a sneaky shot at the podium here, but he's going to be hoping for something that you wouldn't really want to see. But a P4 result for him would no doubt get a big haul of points for himself in the Drivers' Championship and his team for Next Level Racing. So they'll further hold the championship lead, no doubt. And Westy Mike in P5 there. So he's actually under pressure by Ghost behind. So those guys both in the Bentley just driving for different teams here. So Selby Acoustics versus Ignition Controls. But it's Westy Mike who's got the better of Ghost so far. He's got a decent gap between himself and Ghost behind. As he goes a little bit wide out the last couple of corners here. He had to take a tour out on the dirt. What's this lap time going to be for him? So he's 4 attempts down on his quickest race lap. You can say that's very consistent considering the age of his tyres now. So they're really starting to get very old and a lot of minimised grip as well. So got to commend these guys for running extremely long on the same set of tyres. And being on the hard compound is no doubt an added complexity to remaining on the same set of tyre as well, with the variation in cloud cover as well, because we're currently in light cloud conditions based on the weather forecast. Earlier on, there was a lot of cloud cover over the track, so the soft compound option will be better earlier on, but it wouldn't be good now, because you'll really be heating them up to the point that it will cause you to have severe amounts of entry understeer. So as for Westy Mike, I reckon everyone's pretty much stayed on the hard compound here. Ghost currently under pressure by the lap car of Stozer. Looking a little bit taily in the rear as we enter the first hairpin, heading onto the back straight now. You can see his teammate Stu in the background there. And then you should have Nige in the NSX Bruce Hale Racing car there. And then his teammate Benny in the car behind, and Williams. So we've got a 3-car train of Bruce Hale Racing cars from 8th to 10th. AO for Gamesman Racing Team in 11th. AK for Next Level in 12th. Stozer P13 amongst this pack of cars here between Ghost, Westy Mike and Stu. You can see him in the background. He's actually let Stu pass there, so very good from him to recognise that there's lap traffic coming. So Stu is probably able to get back into the groove now as well, as Nige has to negotiate the lap traffic of Stoza now. Now go back up into the lead of this race, and it's Penguin who's taken the lead off of Stimson. He's been relegated back to P3. I'm sorry I haven't seen anything earlier, but this has really changed the outcome of this race in the later stages. Heading into lap 43 here for Penguin. He's still under pressure from Slambo, but he's got a decent lead of 1.5 seconds in hand. So as long as he doesn't make a mistake and he keeps it clean and fast, he may be able to pull out a victory from nowhere. And as for Stimson, he really be kicking himself. And I reckon he's made a mistake, no doubt, because that's why we see him back in P3. And Cart Dude is really playing himself up in this battle as well. He's only 5 seconds down from Stimson to get on the back spot of the podium. You can see him in the background there with the lights on. So it's currently at Stimson in a sandwich of Next Level Racing cars, but then it's Slambo on a sandwich of Selby Acoustics Racing cars. So it's sort of evened out there. So the top four, two different teams in Selby Acoustics and Next Level Racing. These guys fighting out for the team's championship as well. And Stimson is quicker that time around in comparison to his fastest lap. So his fastest of a 54.1. Last lap for Slambo, a 54.7. So Stimson looking to get onto the rear bumper of Slambo and try to apply as much pressure as possible in the closing 5.5 laps of this one. You see Penguin up in the background there. He's got lap traffic up ahead in AK in that Next Level Bentley there. But Slambo trying to hold off the Selby Acoustics Porsche of Stimson. Currently it's Penguin with a relatively huge lead in hand at this stage. It's starting to extend to 1.8 seconds as we enter lap 45. The lap traffic of AK drifting off to the right hand side. Very good from him to let out the throttle. So he's letting these guys race on. Currently it's Slambo still holding off Stimson for P2. I reckon you'll see Cart Dude in the background, down the back straight. He's just come out of the first corner now, about to exit the first sector as well. And Slambo is trying to keep his eyes forward. He's trying to make the ground on Penguin in the closing laps at Silverstone National. Round 4 of the Pagnian GT3 series. He doesn't have many laps to catch up. And he's got to keep an eye on Stimson behind because he's charging. He knows the situation that he must get past Slambo because this is championship defining stuff here. If Slambo gets the advantage over either Stimson or Ghost, he's going to have an over 1 round advantage over those guys. So he's really got to get in front of Slambo if he's to keep the championship outcome within his hands. So Stimson, he's trying to make a move, but he's a little bit too far back. Slambo, very good under brakes on entry at the hairpin. Heading on to the back straight now. The gap between JJ Penguin and Slambo is 1.2 seconds. So Penguin's lost a lot of time last time around. So Slambo was 3 tenths quicker than Penguin on the last lap. And currently, it's under 1 second now. So Penguin looking to be struggling in the later stages. But Slambo running out of laps. It's JJ Penguin with track position here. He's got to keep his average speed up on these last 3 laps, no doubt, if he's to win this. We've got Stimson in the mix now. This is the top 3 battling it out. Slambo, championship leader, P2. Equal P2 in the championship for Stimson and P3. We've got Ghost in P8, he's also equal P2, so he's really going to lose a lot of ground in the championship contending battle here. But for now, it's JJ Penguin who leads this one on lap 47 of 49. Laps starting to tick down, and we're almost on the closing 2 laps. And Slambo hasn't made too much progress on the last lap, no doubt. In a matter of fact, it's Penguin starting to extend it back out to 1.1 second on corner entry there. You see him start to drift away as Stimson goes out wide back there. And he would have lost a little bit of ground. Might actually take a suss of the battle for P7 between Nige and Ghost. Ghost right on the rear bumper. And this is very crucial for Ghost to get past Nige. So this is going to be a defining battle. Here is Ghost, loses the rear end. We've seen that happen twice. But the first time he held on to it, this time it wasn't so forgiving. And he's completely rotated it. And that's really gifted Benny an opportunity to remain in P8 there. So the two Bruce Hale racing cars of Nige and Benny, both P7 and P8. And unfortunately for Ghost, lost a lot of ground after a spin. He's really going to be kicking himself. And Williams round at the top 10. See AO in the background there, trying to hold off the lap traffic of Stozer. But back to the front we go between Slambo and Stimson. It's the battle for P2 as the white flag is out. We're on the last lap of this race, lap 49 of 49. The lead is in favour of Penguin. 1.2 seconds is the lead of this one in favour of Penguin. Slambo looking not likely to get the victory here, but he's going to have to try hold off a resurgent Stimson in P3. This is going to be all or nothing for Stimson as we see lap traffic from Stozer off to the right hand side. Is Stimson able to make a dive heading into the final sector? He's going to have to be very optimistic and very deep and confident under brakes here, but he's not going to be able to do it. As a matter of fact, Slambo's made a lot of ground up on Penguin heading into the last sector, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be Penguin coming out with the victory for the first time this season in round 4 of the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. Now, is there any time penalties here? And there is! Penguin copped the time penalty. Has he copped 10-second time penalty? That's something we should have kept an eye on. Penguin, he got relegated off the podium. Very unfortunate scenes, but it's going to be Slambo out of nowhere who comes out with the victory over Stimson and Kart Dude. So that's very unfortunate scenes for Penguin. He sees himself all the way back in P4. Westy Mike round out the top 5 there. We've got Stu in P6. Nige actually got a 10-second time penalty as well. So Benny's moved up in the P7. Ghost in P8. And then Nige has moved back to P9. Williams in P10. Got AO in P11. AK in P12. Stozer in P13. And then we'll see the rest of the grid here. That was very close stuff towards the end. But it's going to be Slambo coming out with another victory. I reckon he's also got the fastest lap of the race by 5/100ths of a second over Stimson, the car behind in P2. Kart Dude round at the top 3. Then we've got Penguin, Westy Mike round at the top 5. We go further down, Stu in P6, Benny in P7. We got Ghost in P8 after sort of a mediocre performance from him. Lost a lot of ground on the lead in comparison to Slambo and Stimson. So he's got to get in the right mindset heading into round 5. Then we got Nige in P9. Williams round at the top 10. Then we go down the grid here. P11 AO. We've got AK P12. Stozer P13. Turbo in P14. And then kart number 1 in P15 there. So that rounds out the 15 kart grid here for round 4 of the Pagnian GT3 series here at Silverstone National. So I reckon I've made the next week's slide, have I? Next week. So I don't have the next week thing up, but it will be round 5. And I'll quickly suss out what track it will be at. It's definitely not Dubai or Barcelona. I thought I made that up.
What the hell did you just do?
Definitely didn't. So
No, he literally moved my mouse.
just gonna quickly get this round up. So round 5 will be at the Red Bull Ring. So this is a very notable car and track duo here. So GT3's at Red Bull Ring. That's going to be the GP circuit, not the short variant. And that will be a 30-lap race next week to come. So in between then, we've got the Bush League Racing guys tomorrow night, starting at around 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then we got the guys from Go to Woe on Wednesday. I'm not sure what's happening on Friday, but then we'll come back to Sunday night for the triple header with the NASCAR and Xfinity Sunday Series. Then the main event of the Pagnian GT3 Series hosted by Go to Woe. I hope to see some of you guys in the next stream. From now, in between the next Race on Oz stream, I hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you